What if I told you that the dollar in your wallet is really just an IOU? What if I told you that most money in circulation is actually debt and don't have real value? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the truth about money, the difference between currency and credit, and how understanding this flips the entire system upside down. Now, I've studied the Fed, I've studied banking laws, I've studied monetary policy, and I'm here to help you and show you how money and help you see how money isn't what you think it is. You dig me? So I'm going to teach you how to use that truth to your advantage. So make sure to stick around all the way to the end, because we're about to be talking about one of the most profound things as it pertains to debt and credit. Now, damn, that's hot. Thank you guys for watching this again. This is going to be a quick video. I have a long day ahead of me. Got some work to do. So thank you guys once again. Make sure you guys click the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're brand new. Click the post notification button because I do post Monday through Friday. All right. Happy Friday. All right. So thank you guys once again. Also, at the same time, what I'm about to talk about is not legal advice. Take everything that I say with a grain of salt. Do your due diligence after the fact. Now, let's dive straight into it. You know what I mean? Let's talk about the fact that money is an illusion, okay? Most people think that money equals value, but in our system, money is actually debt. You dig me? And every dollar in circulation is issued as credit backed by obligation, not gold or value. All right? So understand that the dollar isn't a thing, it's more of a claim, okay? And we talk about, in last video, we talked about our notice of claim. All right. We talked about how you can send a negotiable instrument and that is a claim. Okay. But the biggest thing that I want to put out there, that it doesn't represent wealth. It actually represents liability. Okay. Because it's debt. Okay. So you are not actually spending money. You're actually transferring debt. It's very interesting. Okay. When you look at, let's pull up the national debt calculator. When you look at these numbers here, it doesn't, some of you guys may think that the United States is in debt. And yes, they are. But the real meaning behind this right here is the fact that this is the money that is circulating in the United States. So technically, this is a $36 trillion company, okay? A lot of people think that this is, oh, we're just in debt. Yeah. This is just all the credit that's being circulated. You dig me? So anytime we are applying for a loan, anytime we are transferring debt, anytime we are discharging debt, whatever the case may be, this number grows. Right now, these are people putting in applications right now as we speak. Okay. So let's just talk about the difference between currency and credit. Here are the key differences when it comes to currency and credit. Number one, currency is a medium of exchange. Okay. Currency is also fiat, created by law, okay? Matter of fact, let's just go side to side. Currency is a medium of exchange versus credit. Credit is a promise to repay, okay? Currency in this situation is fiat, created by law, and credit is something that is created by contract, okay? Currency is something tangible, bills and coins, and credit is digital entries. Credit lines. All right. Currency is government issued and credit is bank or borrower generated. Okay. So they may seem the same, but they're very different. Currency is something that is physical versus credit is something that is digital. All right. The currency comes from the government and the credit comes from banks and is generated by borrowers. All right. So understand that when you take out a loan, the bank doesn't give you currency. The only people that can actually give you a currency is the government. Okay. And they create credit based off of your promissory note. Okay. When you make a promissory note, that's really just a promise to repay a loan. And because you promise to repay a loan, they create credit, a digital credit. And so that credit is equal to new money supply, but it's not real value. Okay. Credit becomes money once you believe in it. If we all stop believing in credit today, then it wouldn't have much value. But the thing is, so we're very deep into the system that, yes, we're going to always believe it. Here's what the feds and banks won't say. When you look at the Federal Reserve Bank, modern money mechanics, banks don't lend money. When a loan is made, new money is created. Understand that, or as a matter of fact, understand that when you apply for a loan, it's not them lending you anything. They're not really loaning you anything. You dig me? They're actually creating it. And if you watch any of my videos, especially in my previous videos where I talk about the fractional reserve system, when I talk about modern money mechanics and I show you the documentation, you can read the entire modern money mechanics and it will literally break it down for you. It will tell you how the whole fractional system works. It even tell you and even go as far back as when there was actual currency that was being exchanged and when they stopped doing it. You can also go to House Joint Resolution 192, and in House Joint Resolution 192, they actually suspended the ability. This is when the whole system was created, okay? So understand that the money in your account is created from debt, all right? It's not created from somebody actually giving you money, okay? And this is where we kind of are in a position where we can challenge a company based off of that, okay? So banks monetize your signature, then issue credit. You pay it back as if it came from their funds. See, I want you to understand that if it's something digital, it's not really much that they risk. They'll indoctrinate you or make you think that you are being loaned something that you actually gave them the ability to create. They cannot create it without your consent. Without you applying for a loan, they cannot create it. You hear me? So the government borrows from the Fed prints money, taxpayers pay interest. The system runs on trust, not truth. Two very different things, okay? Just because you trust somebody doesn't mean that they're going to give you the truth, okay? You can lie to someone, and if they trust you, then they'll believe whatever it is that you say. A lot of times, they always say that repetition is the persuader versus the truth. Because a lot of people don't want to listen to the truth. I can come in these videos and I can talk about the aspect of everything I'm talking about. I can show you documents. I can show you the truth. And people won't believe it because the people that constantly tell them that it doesn't work are the people who are against them. Such as the banks. Such as the very people that want you to continue to be in this cycle of not knowing what system that you live in because it benefits them when you don't know. You got to wake up, okay? Here's the trap when it comes to debt-based money, okay? Since money is debt, paying it off actually removes it from circulation. So the thing is, they don't want you to pay off your debt. They want you to constantly be in debt. That's why one of the first things you get at 18 years old is a loan, okay? The system always needs more debt in order to survive. So the more that you guys apply, the more that you guys put in these agreements, the more that you guys create promissory notes, sign it off with your signature, the more that the United States can continue to grow. So I speak from this aspect because a lot of people look at debt as something scary, but they honestly need you to be in debt. And debt doesn't always have to be negative. You can use debt positively, and when you use debt positively, that actually puts you in a position to where you can build wealth. People talk about other people's money, but you're really creating money. You dig me? So given the fact that they need more debt to survive, this creates inflation, interest, slavery, and artificial scarcity. Okay? There's a point where we think that you're supposed to chase money, but the reality is the system is really designed so that you'll never catch up because they honestly need you to be in more debt. The only way that you really can grow is to be in debt. And it's not that it's always about the aspect of, and I'm saying debt, but it's not a bad thing if you're using it properly, okay? So, but for the people that don't know and understand this, this is where it's not about you being in a rat race. It's more about you being in a credit trap where you don't understand the system and the economic system that you're living in. So what happens is you get in debt and you think that you have to go to work every single day to pay off your debt. But if you ever wanted to stop paying debt, just stop. You dig me? Now, don't do that if you don't know how to navigate through the system without paying debt. But let's just say if you're moving in the United States properly, being in debt is not a bad thing, okay? Once you understand what it is and how to properly use it and how debt is something that is made out of thin air, then you can take the debt and invest in yourself. I was speaking to one of my clients the other day, and one of the things that he said to me was that his business partner did not want to borrow from the bank. But it's like, you're trying to build a business and you don't have the money now, but if you believe in that business, why won't you borrow from the bank? Oh, because my wife doesn't want me to pull out a loan. Well, does your wife know what you're trying to do with your business? Does she believe in your business? As a matter of fact, do you even believe in your business enough to borrow a loan or to get a loan? You dig me? What's the point of you having good credit if you're not going to go and apply and use it? Credit is not people where we were taught in school about this grading system that yes, we got a good grade, but it doesn't matter if you're not using your grades effectively. What's the point of having a 700 credit score if you're not borrowing, if you're not getting a loan to grow something? Having good credit, it's no point of having good credit if you're not using it. So go ahead, pull out that debt. You have no choice but to learn your good credit and actually use it to your advantage. How come the United States gets to do that? And you see they have a $31 trillion business. If they can have IOUs and have everybody thinking that there's some huge business, then you can do the same. How do you think people actually build wealth? All right. Before I dive into that, let's just break down some of this stuff, because this is how you're going to flip the game. Number one, learn to create value and not just chase dollars. See, if you have value, then what's going to happen is you're going to get debt and you're going to use it properly. You're going to put it towards, you're going to invest in your value, and your value is going to create the money, not the debt. You dig what I'm saying? If you pull out a loan, but you have no value and you don't know how to bring value to what it is, then you're just going to go ahead and be in more debt that you have to pay. Okay? Versus a person who says, you know what, I have the values, all I need is the money, and the money is literally just an add-on. I can really make money without the value. You dig me? If I can make money without the value, then I can take this 50 grand that I'm going to get from the bank, and I can literally turn it into even more value. Okay? I'm going to put these dollars to work, and I'm not going to allow it to control or work me. You know what I'm saying? Wealthy people who, the people who have value in real estate will borrow, get real estate, and then flip the real estate. You know what I mean? So now the debt that was inherently, it's debt, you owe it. But if they flip the real estate using their value and their education and knowledge, then technically they wasn't even in debt at all. They just turned debt into more money, to actual currency. Okay? The other way you're going to flip the game is by using lawful credit knowledge. Okay? Understand promissory notes, understand discharge methods, understand consumer law defenses, realize that your energy creates the credit. Focus on assets, not liabilities, and question every financial agreement, such as who created the credit, who actually benefits. You don't actually owe money, you actually co-created it. So understanding that you co-created it, understanding that you don't actually owe money, understanding that you are taking your debt to invest in assets, not liabilities. When you go and you purchase a car with your credit, there's nothing wrong with having a car if you got to get to and from somewhere, A to B, but and use it to make money. But if you just got, you go and you just get a car just because you want it for the looks and things of that nature, yes, you just gave yourself a liability. You dig me? When you don't understand that your energy is what actually fuels your growth in your life, then your credit won't actually grow. Or the money that you make, or whatever it is that your goal is when it comes to financial literacy. Because this conversation about debt discharge is not about you just sitting here trying to understand the system and get out the matrix. It's not just about that. I mean, getting out the matrix, everything goes hand in hand with how to be able to use it to your advantage. Once you understand it's a matrix, then you can start to do things to make the matrix move in your favor. Once you start to understand that everything moves in your favor, then things will start to come towards you. We're not here just because we want to know some conspiracy theory. Forget the conspiracies. We don't truly give a damn about a conspiracy if it's not really have no tangible value or actually going to help us. You dig me? Make sure that you're taking your debt and you're investing in yourself, not investing in things that don't make you money. Invest in things that make you money. If it's education, if it's mentorship, if it's a product or service, if it's, a actual skill, invest in that so that you can now have value to yourself instead of you being in debt. Okay? Look, if you looking to discharge your debt, do what you got to do. Okay? But don't make money to pay debt. You get what I'm saying? Obviously, you want to pay your debt, but you know what I mean? Don't make it to pay debt. Think for something bigger. Okay? I've talked to people all the time. Yeah, I got behind some things, so I want to get a loan. Why would a bank give you a loan if you are behind? If you need it. See, banks don't move like that. If you need it, they're not going to give it to you. They only want to give it to people who don't need it, because those people are going to make them the most money. Okay? The people that come in there and say, hey, I'm going to get this debt so I can discharge it. Those are the people that they run from because they don't make the money. This is why it's so important to understand credit repair, understand how to remove negative items off your credit report so that you are not showing the bank that you're a person that don't pay debts, or showing the bank that you're a person that will be late, and help them make them less money. You get what I'm saying? Yes, they double dip. Yes, they make multiple there are multiple ways where they make money. But the best way that they make money is the fact that after they have made money off of you, they can continue to double dip in there. After they make money off you, they can continue to go manipulate you based off your lack of knowledge, lack of understanding. They can continue to have you in this cycle of getting in debt and going to work, putting in your labor so that you can constantly keep making them money. Okay? And make sure you are questioning everything. Okay? This is also on the aspect of putting you on game on the truths out there so that you can not just trust anything that anybody says to you. Just because the government says it, it doesn't necessarily mean that the government is telling the truth. Why do we just blindly trust companies just because they are million and billion dollar companies? Why do we do that? And then we wonder why, they take advantage of us. We don't even want to question them. We think that they are above us, but they're not. They're far from that. You dig me? So understand that money isn't backed by gold, value, or even work. Okay? It's backed by debt and belief. But when you understand the game, you can stop reacting to the illusion and start playing by the higher laws, playing by the game. Don't hate the game, play the game. Okay? If you're going to be in this game, if you're trying to build wealth, I will put out there that the United States is probably one of the easiest places to build wealth. No other place will allow you to have no money, walk into the bank, and get a loan or get money created so that you can start buying assets. See, the thing is, we get money created and we don't buy assets. We don't try to use it to do wealth building activities. We just use it to bullshit. If you want to bullshit, then yeah, by all means, keep getting loans so that you can not use it properly. Keep getting loans to buy liabilities, and then later you come to Nicholas and say, hey, I want to discharge this debt. Why would you do that? Why would you get a loan just so you can discharge it? Don't try to just do this for fun. You dig me? It's really Freestyle Friday. I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah, I got some work to do today. Wanted to tap in with you guys once again. If you got all the way to the end, thank you guys for watching this video. Understand that money is credit. Currency and credit are two different things. Currency is made by the government. Credit is something that you actually create. So why not go out there and continue to create it? The only problem is when we create the money and we do not use it properly. That's where we get the game messed up. Okay? Keep it a buck. Yes, you put out that loan or you paid on your credit card, or you took your credit card and you bought that $7 grand travel to wherever you went. Okay. And now you are mad at the bank because of some energy that you exchanged for the wrong thing. Don't be mad at the bank. Be mad at yourself, okay? For not taking that money and investing it into yourself so that you can pay it back. You dig me? Don't say you want to build a business and don't want to borrow against yourself or use yourself as a personal guarantor. You're literally saying you can't bet on yourself. Who would the person be who actually who would the person you be if you actually betted on yourself? Would you be a person that you want to be? Think of the person that you want to be. Would they bet on themselves? Would they go and take out a loan? Would they have the confidence to say, hey, if I get this 50K, I'm going to go ahead and flip that 50K into something, into an asset, into 100K? This is not for people who come and they just want to discharge their debt. It's nothing wrong with learning the game, but if you're not trying to actually put it to some real use and you're just trying to do it as a conspiracy theorist and say to game the system, you're trying to buy bullshit and then try to discharge, this is not for you. Okay? So be smart, move wisely. You dig me? So if you want to learn more, down below I had to complete that guide where I break down debt discharge, I break down how to communicate with debt collectors, I break down the education behind these things so that you have knowledge and understanding and you can stop, being in this mental slavery about it. Tap in with the complete that guide. It's only $47. Number two, if you want to work with me one-on-one, okay, you want my one-on-one mentorship, down below is the application down below. Okay, go ahead and tap in to the one-on-one mentorship. If you're trying to fix your credit, get funding, and also trying to grow a online business, tap into my one-on-one mentorship. Okay, if you're a credit repair company and you need help with scaling and marketing, go ahead and hit the application button. We'll talk, have a conversation, get your content strategy up there, and we're gonna get rocking, create a custom plan specific for you. Okay. And lastly, follow me on Instagram at biz.nick. Okay. If you're brand new, tap in with the Instagram. I post daily content, not only credit game, but I also do motivation, I also do mindset. You dig me? And I also post every time I post, I upload it to my Instagram, so you'll get updates. All right. But other than that, thank you guys for watching the video. If you're brand new, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on the post notification, because we are going to constantly expose the system one video at a time. All right. And if you got all the way to the end, comment the word discharge, and I'll see you in the next one.